Unit 5, Bus Stop. Kate runs into Linda, an old friend, at a bus stop. Listen to the conversations.
Linda, Kate, do you work around here?
Yes, I work in that building across the street.
Really? What do you do?
I'm a lawyer.
Oh, that's interesting.
What about you? What do you do?
I work at St. Anne's Hospital.
Oh, are you a nurse?
No, I'm a biologist. I do research.
Here's my bus.
That's my bus, too.
Oh, where do you live?
On Grand Avenue.
Really? Where on Grand?
At 356.
You're kidding. We're neighbors. I live on the next block.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Who's that?
His name's Eric Mendez. He lives in my building.
Oh, what does he do?
He's a pilot.
He's very good looking.
Do you live alone, Linda?
No, I don't. I have a roommate. How about you?
I'm married now. I got married last year.
Really? Congratulations.
Now listen to the conversations again and repeat each line.
Linda.
Kate, do you work around here?
Yes, I work in that building across the street.
Really? What do you do?
I'm a lawyer.
Oh, that's interesting.
What about you? What do you do?
I work at St. Anne's Hospital.
Oh, are you a nurse?
No, I'm a biologist. I do research.
Here's my bus.
That's my bus, too.
Oh, where do you live?
On Grand Avenue.
Really? Where on Grand?
At 356.
You're kidding. We're neighbors. I live on the next block.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Who's that?
His name's Eric Mendez. He lives in my building.
Oh, what does he do?
He's a pilot.
He's very good looking.
Do you live alone, Linda?
No, I don't. I have a roommate. How about you?
I'm married now. I got married last year.
Really? Congratulations.
Hello, it's nice to see you again. A new day, a new lesson, and a new topic, a new subject to talk about. Today we want to talk about using public transportations to go to work, go home, take trips, and things like that. Public transportations are like buses, trams, metros, and these sort of things. So do you ever take buses or trams or metros to go to work, or you'd rather drive your own car to go to work? Well, people have different opinions on this topic, right? today we have two characters, Kate and Linda. Okay, they are two old friends, but they run into each other at the bus stop. Run into means to meet someone accidentally, by chance. It means you didn't plan it, from before. So these two people meet and talk to each other at the bus stop. So let's see what they talk about once more for the second time as a reinforcement. And let's listen in.
Unit 5, Bus Stop. Kate runs into Linda, an old friend, at a bus stop. Listen to the conversations.
Linda, Kate, do you work around here?
Yes, I work in that building across the street.
Really? What do you do?
I'm a lawyer.
Oh, that's interesting.
What about you? What do you do?
I work at St. Anne's Hospital.
Oh, are you a nurse?
No, I'm a biologist. I do research.
Here's my bus.
That's my bus, too.
Oh, where do you live?
On Grand Avenue.
Really? Where on Grand?
At 356.
You're kidding. We're neighbors. I live on the next block.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Who's that?
His name's Eric Mendez. He lives in my building.
Oh, what does he do?
He's a pilot.
He's very good looking.
Do you live alone, Linda?
No, I don't. I have a roommate. How about you?
I'm married now. I got married last year.
Really? Congratulations.
Now listen to the conversations again and repeat each line.
Linda.
Kate, do you work around here?
Yes, I work in that building across the street.
Really? What do you do?
I'm a lawyer.
Oh, that's interesting.
What about you? What do you do?
I work at St. Anne's Hospital.
Oh, are you a nurse?
No, I'm a biologist. I do research.
Here's my bus.
That's my bus, too.
Oh, where do you live?
On Grand Avenue.
Really? Where on Grand?
At 356.
You're kidding. We're neighbors. I live on the next block.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Who's that?
His name's Eric Mendez. He lives in my building.
Oh, what does he do?
He's a pilot.
He's very good looking.
Do you live alone, Linda?
No, I don't. I have a roommate. How about you?
I'm married now. I got married last year.
Really? Congratulations.
Okay, guys, now I show you the whole picture of the whole lesson, all parts and all conversations. Alright, so as you know, now we are going to discuss a little more about some details of this lesson, right? There are some new words and expressions. For example, run into, I said already that run into means to meet someone accidentally and by chance. In part A, we have some new words and expressions. For example, do you work around here means near here, in this neighborhood. Another thing that we have in part A is across the street. I work in that building across the street, which means on the other side of the street. Then in another part we have what do you do, which means what's your job, right? And then we have biologist. Biologist is an expert in biology. Biology is a science about life, origin of life, and living things, and these sorts of things. Then in part B, let's see what we have. Well, you are kidding. In part B, it says you are kidding, which means you are joking, something like that. In part C, let's see what we have. Talks about Eric Mendes, who is a pilot. Pilot is someone who flies the plane, right? And yeah, she says he's very good looking, means handsome. Yeah. Then in part D, what do we have? Let's see. Nothing special. Yeah, there's no new word in part D as I see now. Yeah. Okay. So that's about it. All right. Now let's start talking about the exercises that we have in this lesson. Okay, first the figure it out exercise, which says say right, wrong, or I don't know. We are all familiar with this exercise. Number 1 is an example. It says Kate is a lawyer. It says right. So how do we know it is right? Because if we go back to part A, I think Linda says, what do you do? And Kate says, I'm a lawyer. That's the reason why. That's the proof we have for this answer. Okay, we have some others, and as usual I ask you to think about them. So let's go to exercise 2. One question is given to us, 2 answers, one of which is correct. So number 1, what do you do? There are 2 answers. I'm a student. She is a carpenter. So we can say A is correct because the question is about the other person. Yeah, the second person, not the third person. She's a carpenter is about a third person, which is not correct here. Alright, so please, as usual, take a piece of paper, concentrate on this lesson and on these questions and these 2 exercises. I'll be back in a few minutes and we check them together, alright? Okay, let's begin now. Exercise 1, number 2. Kate, Linda, and Eric live on Grand Avenue. So, what do you think? What is your answer? So the answer is right. Yeah, because in part B, Kate says, where do you live? And Linda says on Grand Avenue. Really, we're on Grand at 356. Then Kate says, no kidding, we're neighbors. I live on the next block. And then about Eric Mendes, Kate says his name is Eric Mendes. He lives in my building. So we understand all these 3 people live on the same street. Number 3. Eric Mendes is a biologist. What do you think? Yeah, it is wrong, of course, because in part C it says he's a pilot. Number 4. Kate's office is 2 blocks from St. Anne's Hospital. Well, what do you think? Right, wrong, or I don't know? Yeah, we should say I don't know, in fact, because there's no information about this. Yeah, so number 4 is I don't know. Number 5, Kate is married. So what do you think? Yeah, that's right, because in part D she says I'm married now. I got married last year. Number 6, Linda lives alone. What do you think? That's wrong, of course, because Linda says I have a roommate in part D. Yeah, okay. Exercise 2. Well, we go to number 2 because we answered number 1 before. The question is, what does your wife do? 2 answers. She is a lawyer. He works in a hospital. Which one is correct? Of course, A is correct because the question is about wife, and wife is a she, not a he. So A is correct. Number 3, do they live around here? 2 answers. No, I don't. I'm not sure. Which one is correct? Sure, part B is correct because it's about they, the third person, plural. Yeah, I'm not sure is correct. No, I don't is wrong because it's not about the second person to say no, I don't. It's about the third person, plural. So B is correct. Number 4, who's that? 2 answers. It's my boss. It's Kate Chung. What do you think? B is correct. That's right, because the question is about who, the person. Boss is not a person. So B is correct. Number 5, are you a secretary? 2 answers. Yes, I am. No, I don't. What is correct? Yes, I am is correct. Sure. A is correct because the question is with the verb be, are. But part B is about do, using the verb do and don't, which is not the purpose of the question. So A is right. Number 6, do you live alone? 2 answers. No, she is married. And no, I have a roommate. Which one? A or B? B is correct, yeah. Do you live alone? No, I have a roommate. The question is not about she, right? Okay. B is correct. Number 7, what about you? 2 answers. I'm a biologist. I don't know. Which one is correct? Yes. A is correct. I'm a biologist. We can't say I don't know because it's impossible that we don't know our jobs. So it's crazy to say that. Yeah. So A is correct. Number 8, where do you work? 2 answers. Yes, I do. Across the street. What is correct? Yes, B is correct because it's about work, and of course it gives the information about work across the street. Yes, I do is a short answer to yes-no question. This is not a yes-no question. It's an information question, and we should explain it. All right? Okay. So that's it for this part. Now let's look at the comprehension dialogue. All right? Let's see.
Cafeteria. Carolyn runs into Maggie in a cafeteria. Maggie's on her lunch hour. 1. Comprehension dialogue. Listen to the conversation.
Hi, Maggie.
Carolyn, nice to see you. Have a seat.
Thanks.
How are you doing?
Fine. How about you?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks.
Do you work around here?
Yes, I work at Brooklyn Hospital.
Oh, what kind of work do you do?
I'm a lab technician.
That sounds interesting.
Yes, it's a good job. What do you do?
Me? Oh, I'm an actress.
Really? How exciting.
Well, I'm out of work.
Oh, that's not so exciting.
No, it isn't. Right now, I'm looking for an office job.
Well, I hope you find something. Anyway, speaking of work, I've got to get back to the hospital. See you later.
Bye.
All right, Alright folks, now it's time to think about the figure it out exercise and also the other one which follows it. So let's go over the examples that we have. So figure it out says, say right, wrong, or I don't know, as usual. Number one is an example. It says Maggie works in a hospital. It is right, and of course we should find out why it is right, what evidence we can declare from the conversation to prove it is right. And the rest of the sentences. The second exercise, find another way to say it. Number one, how are you? How are you doing? How are you doing is more informal than how are you. So we should find sentences in the conversation which have the same meaning, right? And we should write them as alternatives. Okay, so think about it for a short time, then we discuss them together. Okay, so let's begin now. Number one, Maggie works in a hospital. So, how do we know it is right? If we refer to the conversation that we have, we can see that Maggie says, I work at Brooklyn Hospital. So this is the proof for this. Number two, Carolyn has a good job. What do you think? The answer is wrong because Carolyn says, I'm out of work, yeah? So she doesn't have a good job now. Number three, Maggie is a lab technician. What do you say? What do you think? Yeah, it is right because in the conversation Maggie says clearly, I'm a lab technician. Yeah. Number four, Carolyn works for an office. What do you think? It is wrong, of course, because she says, I'm looking for an office job. She doesn't have it now. Number five, Brooklyn Hospital is across from the cafeteria. What do you think? I don't know, because there is no information here in this conversation. So the answer is, I don't know. Number six, Maggie's job is interesting. What do you think? Yeah, the answer is right because she says it's interesting, right? Let's go back to the conversation and see what she says. She says, Maggie says, I'm a lab technician. Carolyn says, that sounds interesting. Maggie says, yes, it's a good job. Yeah? She confirms that it is interesting. So the answer is right. Okay? Okay, exercise 2. Find another way to say it. Number 1, we talked about it before. How are you? How are you doing? Very informal, of course. Number 2, I'm unemployed. What do you think? What do we have in the conversation which means the same? Yeah, I'm out of work. That's right. I'm out of work means I'm unemployed. Number 3, do you work in the neighborhood? So, what else do we have in the conversation with the same meaning? Do you work around here? That's right. Do you work around here? Means the same. Number 4, sit down. What can we say? What else? Have a seat. Okay, that's right. Have a seat. Number 5, what do you do? What else do we have with the same meaning? What kind of work do you do? That's right. Alright, so that's it. And by the way, I thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to give you the whole picture of the cafeteria and all the conversations that we have, and so that we see what's happening in the cafeteria and how it looks like before we discuss each exercise separately. Now we come across some other conversations which take place at the cafeteria, and we take a closer look at each one of them and discuss them separately.
Page 39. 3. Listen in. Jane, the woman below, is having lunch with an old friend, Joe. Read the statements below. Then listen to the conversation and choose A, B, or C.
So, Jane, how's everything?
Good. How are things with you?
Oh, not bad. Say, how's your roommate Kathy Simmons, the lawyer?
Oh, she's fine, but I don't live with Kathy anymore.
You don't?
No. Remember Bill Evans?
Yeah?
Well, we got married. We live in Queens now.
Oh, congratulations.
Which is the correct answer? 1. Jane lives A. Alone. B. With Kathy Simmons. C. With her husband. 2. A. Jane. B. Kathy Simmons. C. Bill Evans is a lawyer.
Okay, folks, let's see what the answers are. Number 1, we have 3 answers for that. Jane lives alone with Kathy Simmons with her husband. Which one did you choose? C. Alright. Jane lives with her husband. Okay. Number 2, Jane, Kathy Simmons, Bill Evans is a lawyer. Which one of them did you choose? B. Kathy Simmons is a lawyer. That's right. Okay. Now let's go to the next part. Say it right.
4. Say it right. Practice asking questions about jobs. First, listen to the questions.
1. Where do you work? 2. What do you do? 3. Does he work here? 4. What does he do? 5. Is he a doctor? 6. Does she work here? 7. What does she do? 8. Is she a lawyer?
Now listen to the questions again and repeat each line.
1. Where do you work? Where do you work? 2. What do you do? What do you do? 3. Does he work here? Does he work here? 4. What does he do? What does he do? 5. Is he a doctor? Is he a doctor? 6. Does she work here? Does she work here? 7. What does she do? What does she do? 8. Is she a lawyer? Is she a lawyer?
All right. Now exercise 5, your turn. One of the most productive exercises that we have, because we must produce, we must make conversations, based on what we learned until now. We must use our imagination in order to complete the conversations. It says Sam runs into his friend Judy, and they discover they work in the same neighborhood. Then Judy asks about Sam's sister, Katie. What is Judy saying? Act out the conversation. Use this information. Judy works across the street. Judy's address is 654 Union Street. Alright, are you ready? Let's review what we have done. Sam says, Judy. Judy says, Sam, do you work around here? Sam says, yes, I work on the corner. How about you? Judy says, I work across the street. By the way, how's your sister Katie? Sam says, she's fine. She has a new apartment. Judy says, oh really? Where does she live? Sam says, on Union Street. Judy says, really? Where on Union? Or where on Union Street? Sam says, at 654. Judy says, you're kidding. I live at 654 too. Or Judy can also say, you're kidding. That's my building too. Yeah. This is how we complete this exercise based on what we have learned in this lesson from beginning up to this point. Alright? So that's it for today, and that's it for this lesson. I wish you a very happy and nice time until we meet next time with our new lesson. Alright? So have a good time. Bye.